Welcome to another episode of a WoW Weekly with Myst. I haven't done a WoW Weekly with Myst episode in 6 months. And last night, before I was supposed to stream, which I ended up canceling, but before I was supposed to stream, I was thinking about how much I've been really enjoying Midnight so far, and it made me want to return the series. I started this series 7 years ago. It's been pretty steady, except for around the time when Dragonflight came out, and that was kind of the time where I was like, you know, really contemplating on the series a lot, just because it takes a lot to record, a lot to edit, and because a lot of those features weren't really interesting me, I had put it on hold a couple of times. One time in Dragonflight, one time in War Within, and yeah. Prior to that, we basically never took a break from the series, and I know a lot of you guys really like that series, and I enjoy doing this series. And since I'm having fun at Midnight, I just thought we'd bring it back. So we are back. It is the pre-season, so it's still kind of, I don't want to say there's nothing to do, because there is tons to do, but there's, you know, it's not like when a season's running. You know, when you're in a season, you feel kind of pressured to do things a little more speedy. Yeah. So in other words, you can still take your time leveling. Yeah. And I'm gonna cover like time frames of things today for those that are interested when season starts, raids, all that fun stuff. I will cover that today. So let's start as we usually do. And yes, this video is later than normal. So as always, we'll start with the weekly events. There really isn't much going on this week because season hasn't started. So we're kind of like in that, you know, in that middle section where we're not really part of anything right now. You know, we're just like in the expansion, but nothing's really going on. And so because of that, there's really only one event going on this week, and that is the PvP Brawl, Shadowpan Showdown, so if you like doing the brawls. Moving on to actual news. So we'll start with the Twitch drops and support a streamer. It's been going on for a bit now. It started on February 26th, and basically the Twitch drop, you just watch a Twitch stream for 4 hours. You can also lurk it if you want, mute the tab if you're not much of a stream viewer, and yeah, and your pet will just show up after that. Actually, it's not even a pet, it's these plushies, so decor items. And then there's also the support a streamer. This is the one a lot of people don't like. People already get a little bent out of shape over the Twitch drop. But support a streamer is the one that like goes that step further. And I get it, but I also don't get it, right? I get it because, let's be real, it would be easier to get a pet just from the store. And the reason I don't get it isn't because I'm a streamer or anything. It's not because I want, you know, your money for the support a streamer, although in a way, yeah, of course I do. But it really is that it's a choice at the end of the day. If you don't like it, don't do it. You know, I have made that choice with a couple of housing items. There's been a Pinterest promotion. I hate Pinterest. I refuse to log into it. I've passed on that item. So that is why I don't understand people's gripe with the support a streamer. Like, just don't do it then. Like, if you don't normally watch Twitch or something, and there's no one you really want to give your money to, and you don't watch a YouTuber that streams on Twitch where you would be willing to support them, then just pass on it. That's the way I see it. But anyway, this is the guy that you will get from Support a Streamer. He's basically the cost of a pet that would be on the store, just you have to do it through Twitch instead. And yeah, so you gift 2 subs. A sub is $5 US, so you're looking at $10 US to gift 2 subs. My only real gripe with this one is that I wish you could sub yourself. I wish it wasn't gift 2 subs, but just sub 2 times. You know, whether that is you subbing to the streamer or you subbing and then you gifting 1. You know, I just wish that they would make it so that maybe you could benefit from having a sub since you're putting the money into that Support a Streamer. Yeah, that's my only real gripe. I don't like that it's specifically gifting. But yeah, anyway, those will both run until March 26th, so you got time, and I'll keep reminding you of this promo until it ends. I know some people kind of like to, they get their Twitch drop out of the way, but they kind of wait for a payday or something on Support a Streamer, so I'll definitely remind you guys along the way. So, on the topic of promotions, there is another promotion. This one was super easy. I did this before I even went live one day through stream, and I started it when I was prepping to go live. But it is a Discord promotion. For those that want to join our Discord, we do have one. I don't really promote it much. I don't promote anything, really. Everything that I have going for our community, it is all in the description of this video, and I guess I expect people to read, you know? I know it's a hard ask, but yeah, if you don't read, you'll never know what I'm up to. So yeah, feel free to, you know, go grab the link from there if you want to join, but you don't have to. You can just be on Discord and get this promo. You don't have to be in a specific channel. And all you do is on Discord, a while back, like probably a year or 2 ago, they started doing these game quests on Discord. So you'll see it pop up. It generally pops up either the bottom left by your name or the top right. And so you'll just accept the WoW quest, and all it is to play the game for 15 minutes while Discord is running. This is such an easy one for me because since I run a Myst of Darkness Discord channel, I am always on Discord. Whether I'm home or not, my Discord is always like active. And yeah, so I got this just by setting up my stream one day and doing the starting soon. You know, I usually have that run for 5 minutes. Yeah, it's only 15 minutes. So yeah, and you get this cute little pet. And honestly, I think he's adorable. Usually I don't expect much out of the Discord promos, but this guy was pretty damn cute. I was rolling around with him the day I got him, so one of the streams of the launch. Yeah, he was by my side most of the time. I really like him. Okay, so next we have something that I was kind of a little disappointed in, but I guess it makes sense with the amount of mounts, but there is a mount bundle that went on the store this past week. It is the Scurry Soar Grove Glider collection. They're basically flying squirrels. Like, yeah, if you just want an easy description there. It's flying squirrels. You can see them on screen here. There's a blue, a red, a pink, a purple. You know, the girl in me, of course, loves that pink one. Which is funny because I've never really liked pink, but the pink and white is just cute. I do like the purple as well. And the blue is cute. They're all cute, okay? They're all cute. But what really got me with this one is the price. So the price, because they're a bundle of 4 mounts, the price is $50 USD. I'm a Canadian, so when I went to the shop and I saw that, I saw a $65 price tag. And I get it, a mount usually goes for 25, so this 4 mount bundle, I guess in their eyes it makes sense, but for me, it doesn't, because they're all the same mount with a different skin, you know? I'm not saying it should sell for 25, but weren't they normally selling for like 40 before? Now we've jumped up to 50, and I'm just gonna say, if things are pricey for you guys living in the States, they are definitely pricey for us Canadians, any Australians, because their price is even worse than ours, I think. And yeah, I feel like, you know, I get that they probably just don't even give a fuck, but they definitely don't look at that side of things where, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So you can buy them separately if you wanted, but you do kind of get, you know, you're getting 4 mounts for the price of 2, so the bundle makes sense in that sense. You know, like if you like 3 colors, I guess it would make sense. I just hate when they do that with reskins, you know? I really, you know, we're never gonna see them do this because they make too much money on reskin mounts here. And remember when there was a time when we didn't get reskin mounts on the store? Reskin should be in-game. I'm just gonna say, if you're gonna reskin some mounts, it should not be a wallet mount. It should be something you can get for free within your sub in-game. Yeah. At the very least, the mounts on the store should be unique, you know? And yeah, so I was a little, you know, kind of ticked about this one because, you know, it's, yeah. I very much don't agree that reskins should be on the store. You know, if they had just come out with a 1 of that squirrel, fine. But yeah. So there was that. And that came after the other bad thing, which I caught real fast. I made a post on this next thing in my Discord, and I was really surprised that Wowhead hadn't even reported on it yet. So I definitely saw this one early. So I'm gonna give you the whole story on it, because if you saw it recently, then you saw the change. So I'll tell you how it all started. So on the store, as you may have noticed on the store, there's a housing section now. So it was just 2 plushes to begin with. We knew that was gonna get worse. I literally did a few videos back in 2020, a time frame when people were just wishing for housing. Blizzard hadn't really started working on any of it. They didn't confirm anything. Like, yeah, housing was not really talked about yet. People just wanted it, right? And I made a couple of videos how, yeah, they'll bring it out eventually because it'll be a reason for them to make more money on the store. Well, here we are. Might I add, still in the preseason of Midnight. We haven't even hit the first season yet. And the store is filled now with stuff. So they added a bunch of shop bundles for decorations. And a couple don't seem too bad, but a couple are pretty insane. Now, prices have gone down since they first put it up, but the big controversy was this tree. The spring blossom tree. That sucker was going for 750 Hearthsteel. Now, if you're not familiar with Hearthsteel, basically $1 per 100. So that is a $7.50 tree. It'll be so funny if this becomes the thing, but before they made the change, and this tree was still sitting at a $7.50 tree, I made the comment of, okay, so if that's just for one tree, I think we're gonna start seeing fences, because with fences, you think about it, you buy 1 or 2 trees, you're done, right? But if you want a fenced area, and they sell a fence, let's say they do it for cheap. Let's say they do like 100 Hearthstone, or I always call it Hearthstone, 100 Hearthsteel per fence, right? And you need like 20 pieces to fill out your whole area of fencing. Like, I can see them doing that. The fact that they did this with the tree, and that was the next thing that hit my head, like hit my brain. I was like, oh, fencing. Fencing is the one thing out there, fencing and flooring, tiles and all that. Like, those are the things that if they kept up with the whole, you must purchase it in store, because with a lot of things with housing, this is more for in game, but with a lot of things, you get it once and then you can buy duplicates in the game off a vendor, but the tree's not on a vendor, right? So that implies that you would have to buy duplicates off the store for the $7.50. So yeah. Now the update. It is no longer a $7.50 tree. It is $2.50. One other thing I'd like to add on the tree is that Blizzard said it was, accidentally incorrectly priced. Bullshit, Blizzard. You were testing the community. And the sad part is people did buy that tree for $7.50. There were some pissed off people when the price got brought down to $2.50. So they almost got away with it. If people hadn't complained in the mass group they did, and more people had caved and bought it for $7.50, that tree would have stayed at a $7.50 tree. That is the reality. That is why the WoW store is the way it is right now, is because people keep buying mounts, they keep buying transmogs, they keep buying, I feel like not many were buying toys, which is why there's not many toys on the shop, right? Anything you see low of, they weren't selling much of, or else they would have kept going. They would have easily kept going with toys and stuff, right? They weren't making a whole lot of money off the toys that they sold on the shop. But yeah, we got real damn close to that staying to being a $7.50 tree, because they didn't incorrectly price it. I don't care what Blizzard says. They did that intentionally to see if they could get away with it. And then, I run a business myself, and you price high, you see what people are willing to pay, and then you settle your price after that. It is the way of business, and yeah, and that is exactly what they did there. Little greedy, if you ask me, but because it's not like they don't have a bunch of other shit on their shop that's priced high, but yeah, I'm glad to see that it went down, but I still think, personally, I think there should be a vendor in the game that is more or less called the Blizzard Store vendor, and when you buy a now $2.50 Hearthsteel tree, you have a vendor you can go to buy the duplicates. It should act just like it does with the other stuff, because let's be real, people are not going to want to be spending real money on 4 trees, or and if they do, you better believe there is housing that's on the way that's gonna be amazing, that is gonna be highly priced. And you know what I could see them doing with that is a lot of outdoor stuff, a lot of cool outdoor stuff. And yeah. So I would like to see some changes with this. I know this was a bit of a rant, but I wanted to talk on this one specifically because that was a pretty big deal. And I've played WoW for 21 years now. And I know damn straight that everything they do is a test. And yeah, once again, if the amount of people that bitched hadn't been so high, they would have never budged on that price. That was not accidental. That was completely on purpose, making that tree $750. So yeah. If you were one of the ones that did buy it for the $750, they did say that they are working on refunds. That was a couple of days ago. I imagine you probably have your refund by now. But if you don't, maybe just wait like a day or two. Maybe give them till reset, and then if you still don't have your refund, send in a ticket at that point. But I would give them until Tuesday's reset. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into some Midnight news. Okay, so Midnight, the version we've been all playing. We're in the preseason, and here is the roadmap. Okay, so you can see right now we have the launch, 4 new zones, campaign, new level cap, Harrenir, prey system, 10 new delves, 8 new dungeons, 3 new raids. The raids are not out yet, obviously. But pretty much everything else in that list you can actually do. I recently completed the campaign. There is tons of side quests, so if you want to keep going with side quests, definitely do that. New level cap is 90. Harrenir, in order to unlock the Harrenir, you do need to do the Harrendar campaign. So if you were wondering why that was locked, that is why. It doesn't take long to run through that. I completed that in one night, so. The prey system is the one thing we have right now that I have not gone into yet. I plan on doing that tonight. I wanted to get it out of the way before reset happens so that I can say that I did everything possible this week. But I've been going pretty crazy on the stream, so on stream, people saw me do the entire campaign. I was doing some side quests. We had a dungeon night, and then another stream was a delve night, and yeah, so everything I have actually done on stream. I'm pretty busy lately, so everything is generally streamed when it comes to my gaming. Okay, so Season 1 raid schedule. March 17th is when things more or less start, but not everything starts on March 17th. So basically, Void Spire and Dream Rift for the raids will come out on March 17th. You'll have access to normal and heroic, including the first wing of LFR. March 24th, you will have the Mythic, Wing 2, and Story Mode come out for Void Spire, and then Dream Rift will get Mythic mode. Also worth noting that March 24th is when M Plus starts, and then March 31st, Void Spire will have Wing 3, and then the March raid will come out. So that'll be normal, heroic, and mythic. And then April 7th is when Raid Finder will come out for March on Kel'Danaz. The one thing to note about the raids is Void Spire is a 6 boss raid. And then next is the Dream Rift. So Dream Rift is only one boss. This is a very short raid. Void Rift is definitely the longer raid. And yeah, and this is why there's 2 raids coming out together. Yeah, it's because one is very small. So those are the 2 that are coming out on March 17th. And then we have March on Keldanas. And this is a 2 boss raid. So this is a small raid as well. So we've talked about the raids. Let's talk about some stuff coming out on the 24th. On the 24th, the Mythic Plus season will start. So we'll have Mythic Plus Keystones then. There'll be some added modes for Voidspire and Dream Rift. And then there's also going to be a new delve, the Dark Way. The Dark Way is one of those delves. There's actually 2 delves we can't do right now. The Dark Way is one of them, and that will come out on March 24th. And then the other is Parelian Plaza, which comes out on March 31st when the March on Keldanas raid comes out. So that is what you can look for coming up. On screen, I will just put a little picture of the dungeons for the M+ rotation. So it is Magister's Terrace, Masara Caverns, Nexus Point, Windrunner Spire, Algathar Academy for Dragonflight, Pit of Saron for Lich King, Seat of Triumvirate Legion, and then Skyreach for WoD. Not a bad list, but, you know, and this might be an unpopular opinion because this is new content, but Windrunner Spire really put me to sleep. I was almost crashing the fuck out running that place. Granted, it was before they nerfed the dungeons, and so the dungeons were tougher, and so they went slower, and, you know, of course it was early, so less gear, and yeah, but just gonna say, that place, like, put me to sleep. Seasonal rewards. There's, of course, the achievements that you will get along the way. You know, complete a mythic dungeon within the time limit during Season 1. You know, there'll be a title, the Umbral, which you get for getting a 1500 rating during the first season. The mount for Season 1 KSM is the Calamitous Carrion, and that'll be for a rating of 2000. And then also the Hero Season 1 KSM will be Gleaming Sunmote, and that's a 2500 rating. And then there's also Legend, and that'll get you Convalescent Carrion, and you need a rating of 3000 for that one. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I know it's been running like this for a little bit since the last expansion, but I still find it weird that there's like 3 KSMs now. Back in the day, it was just like 1 KSM. Yeah, I think I think they wanted more people in M+, you know, because let's be real, the first KSM, like the 2000 rating, that shit's easy. You don't even have to do like 15s for to complete that. Like, that is easy mode. So they definitely went with this system to bring in more people into M+. Yeah, because the 2000 rating is easy. 2500 is kind of like more the normal rating that we always kind of saw, and then 3000 you really gotta try for that rating for sure. But yeah, there's also gonna be the Umbral Hero. This is one that a lot of people don't get for their title because it is very tough. In order to get it, you need to end the Season 1 with a Mythic Plus rating in the top 0.1% of players. This can be a tough one because there are people that don't do anything else. They play to do M+, so their rating is going to be so high, and you need to be in the 0.1%, right? So yeah, that's why pretty much the only people I ever really see with that title are people who only do M+. I've never seen someone that does other things, because other things take time away from your M+. Okay, so PvPers. So there's 2 mounts that you'll be able to get here. I'll start with the easier one. So the easier one is Vicious Snap Lizard mount. And basically you just win some rated PvP matches, get a 1000 rating or higher, and the mount comes in an Alliance or Horde version, so it'll be faction colored armor. And yeah, that one is the more casual, PvP mount. The tougher one is the Galactic Gladiators Gordrake, and this one is to win 50 games as a gladiator in 3v3, and again, comes in Alliance and Horde version. One thing that I meant to mention in the Delve section, but I'll mention it right now. The Shady Nemesis. My Shady Nemesis is the achievement that you'll get for killing him before the release of the next season of Delves. This one you can do grouped if you want, and it will get you a cosmetic, the Domini. The next one is Lighting the Dark. You defeat this guy on tier ... and that's before the next season of the Delves, and that'll give you the ominous title. And then the tougher one is the Let Me Solo Him, and that's when you defeat him on the tier ... solo before the release of the next Delves, and that's of course the mount reward. This is the first Delve season. I was waiting for them to get more serious with the Delve season, honestly, because it was always just kind of reskins to mounts that you'd get early in Delves, like through some quest line. But this is a standalone mount, worth mentioning. This is not a skin. This is a standalone mount, so this will actually add to your collection. I really haven't been taking the Delves as seriously as I could be all these times, because there was no standalone mount for it, right? And so yeah, so this'll motivate me a little more. So if you're a mount collector and you haven't been doing the solo modes, and they are tough, so they're not gonna be a breeze or anything in current. They are tough. But yeah, you will finally be able to get a mount that adds to your collection rather than just a skin. On the topic of Delves, since we're back to talking about it, I thought I would give you guys an idea of item level that you should be going into the Delves, and this does apply right now. So if you're working through your Delves, this is a general item level to go after. So here it is on screen, and the tier 7, I didn't need a 242 to do tier 7. I was quite a bit lower than that, so I would say 6 and 7 is, well, yeah, I would say tier 6 and 7 are overly increased in item level. You don't need quite that high, but if you have that high, you're gonna easily do it. But if you're okay with like just making sure you pay attention and all that, you can do it at a lower. I completed all 7 tiers with a 220 item level. Those recommended item levels, I think they're meant for people who, you know, maybe are more casual, don't follow mechanics, you know. Yeah. yeah, then those are the easy item levels. Yeah, it'll just give you a easier time in the delve. That is a go-to right now though, but I just thought I'd let you know. You know, of course every character is different, but I'm just gonna say, my Boomkin is not getting royal treatment this expansion, you know? So, yeah, there are definite characters out there that are doing way more damage than my Boomkin's gonna be doing at top gear this season. I've looked into stuff, and yeah, we're not getting any special treatment this season. So yeah, and none of the classes have ever been like even, right? Just kind of roll with it. I would say definitely these item level requirements are on par for the first 4 tiers. And then after that, just kind of get a feel for your class. And yeah, every class performs differently. There are some characters, like last expansion, you know, as you know, I always main my Boomkin Druid. I was barely gearing my mage, and my mage was outperforming the character I main and was in like top gear. And that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes, you know, and keep in mind I wasn't really gearing the mage too much, like a little bit of gear, but nothing major. So some characters are just better than others, right? It's all dependent, you know, they always make their changes every expansion, every season, you know, so that item level might be a need for some of the more squishier characters. So that's what I'm getting at here. But I just know for me, yeah, I'm not even 242 right now, and I have all 7 tiers completed. Now, just an additional note, 7 is the highest tier we can do right now, but reset happens tomorrow, and with reset, we will have access to tier 8. For those that are new to delves, you pretty much have to unlock tier 1 to unlock tier 2, and then tier 2 for 3. You can't skip, like if you have a friend that's done tier 7, you can't just go into a tier 7 if you're grouped with them. You do have to individually unlock them. But once it's unlocked on one delve, it's unlocked on the other. There will be a new item. There's always that delve boss item. So the item to look out for this time around is called Beacon of Hope. That is your nemesis item that you can use to lure him into the delve, kill him, and it's always good to just use these whenever you have them. As long as you know you can, you know, kill him or get him close enough. You just gotta bring him down to 50%. Like, you don't kill him, like, entirely. You just bring him down to 50%. And they're good to use because you get stuff with them. You'll loot a gold pile. There'll be a delve bounty there. And yeah, there's usually some goods that you can get from that. There is some boons that are obtained from the mislaid curiosities, and they give you temporary stat buffs. I'll just put it on screen instead of reading them all out, but there is 6 of them there. There's also some blessings that you can obtain at the end of delves through the chest. They grant a buff that lasts 24 hours. Or until you complete your next delve. One of the two. And these are them on screen. And then eventually, once you're at the tier 11 bountifuls, with the lives remaining, you'll get the Gilded Stash. It's going to get you 7 Myth Dawn Crusts. And you can complete that up to 3 times for a total of 21 Myth Dawn Crests from the delve per week. And you don't need a coffer key to open them. And this will unlock at rank 4 of the Delve Journey. And once again, this is season stuff, right? So, so you'll have to wait for the season. But I'm just giving you the info right now. The revives in Delves. Now, I don't know if this was a thing last season, but they're different depending on the tiers. I found that out a minute ago before I was about to tell you what I'm about to tell you. But I just thought that was interesting. I guess, like, you know, I was just geared. So a lot of the time we didn't die. And if I did, it was like once. It never really affected much. Yeah, I guess I just never... I didn't do delves until I was geared. Like, I'm not one of those players that goes into delves immediately. And, you know, I know a lot of people like to level characters through them, and I'm a quest person. So by the time I enter delves, I'm already, like, fairly geared. So, yeah, I don't take a whole lot of deaths in delves until beginning season tier 10 to 11, you know? Yeah. So once it's like tougher, yeah. Or if some, you know, unplanned stuff happens, I guess. But point is, there is different revives depending on the tiers. So tier 1 to 3 has no death limit. So you're good there. One thing worth noting is the point of the limit is losing your rewards. Yeah. So if you hit the death limit, you will not receive a bountiful chest at the end of it. And yeah. So tier 1 to 3, there is no death limit. Tier 4 to 8 has 5 revives. Tier 9 is 4 revives, and tier 10 to 11 is 3 revives. Now, this is, if you're solo, it's not too bad. That's like a decent amount of revives. But if you are grouped and like something bad, you know, just kind of unexpectedly wipes your group, that is a death per person. That's where shit gets iffy. Yeah. That it's when you're grouped that it gets a little more iffy. Yeah, if you can solo delves and you're worried about the revives, I would definitely solo them. I prefer to like to group up with them, but that's because I do it as a stream event. I help people out, you know, and it's just a fun activity to do with people. But if you are worried about the revives, yeah, you would last longer solo, as long as you have the gear to be able to solo the delve. Because, yeah, like, let's take even tier 4 to 8, which is the most revives you would have. If you're in a group of 5 and it's a wipe... Now, keep in mind, there is the checkpoint that usually gets you a freebie revive as well, so. Okay, and that's basically all I'm gonna really say on the delves. It's pretty straightforward after that. Back to dungeon talk, there is 2 mounts in dungeons, and they can be obtained on a Mythic 0, so you don't need to do any keys for them. Yeah, it's pretty easy content. Once you're like fairly geared, and I've said this many expansions in the past, but once you're fairly geared, a Mythic 0 feels exactly like a heroic dungeon. It's easy, yeah, you can just breeze through those. So, the first mount that I'm gonna mention is the Hawkstrider. It's the Lucent Hawkstrider, and that one drops from Magister's Terrace. And then the next one is the Spectral Hawkstrider, and that one drops from Windrunner Spire. You can go after these right now if you wanted to, because Mythic 0 is open. It's only Mythic Plus that isn't unlocked quite yet. Just a random kind of gear section that I thought we would add in today. But if you are trying to gear up more, which I imagine you are, there is some item level 246. I was actually telling people in my stream about this a couple of days ago. So if you want some easy gear, just check your renown. Your renown, depending on what it's at, will get you some good gear. It's champion 1/6 gear. It's item level 246. And basically, it's through 4 of the renowns right now. So Silvermoon Court rank 9 will get you a helm. Amani Tribe rank 9 will get you a neck. Haradi rank 8 will get you a belt. And the Singularity rank 7 will get you a trinket. So that is 4 246 pieces you could easily get if you have been, doing stuff to get your renown up. Also, Mythic Zeros are really good for gearing. That is an item level 240. And yeah, I would highly suggest that as well, just to get your item level up, especially if you want to be doing the seasonal content. Hard mode prey will be item level 233, so not as good, but it's there in case you need it. It's a veteran 1/6 gear, and you get it for the first 2 hard hunts of the week. World Quests has been really good. I've gotten some really good item level from the World Quest this past week. I've been getting 230 gear from there, and so definitely check that out. It's a good starting point. It's not what you want to focus forever, but when you hit 90 and you unlock your World Quests, that's what I would hit first. That was my rotation. I hit World Quest first. I got high enough that I could skip past normal dungeons, go into Heroic and Mythic, and then, and then we're sailing at that point, right? And on the topic of that, Heroic dungeons are item level 224. To start up M0, I would say at least a 220, but a lot of people are probably going to ask for a 230 because you can get 230 so easily through World Quests. So yeah, and it'll just make the dungeon go a little more smoother if you are. Normal prey is item level 220. The rares are dropping around to 220, and the rares are kind of the one I would suggest the least. Yeah, I would never, like, if you just want the kill count and work towards the achievement, go after the rares. But 90% of the time, you will get an item that is not for the character that you looted it on. Right? The loot on the rares is for literally anything. It can be plate, leather, cloth, and it is so likely that it's going to be an item you can't use, right? Or don't want to use, we'll say. So I wouldn't suggest that as a go-to for gearing. Do world quests, do dungeons, do delves, yeah. It doesn't take you much. Like, I skipped past normal altogether. I went straight to Heroic dungeons because I had started with World Quest, so I was like a 224 for Heroic dungeons. And then I just kind of geared up a little bit for like a day after that and got myself into M0s. So yeah, it's really not that bad. There's also the Spark of Radiance. So we can actually get 2 now. And this one is good for crafting, so it's really up to you whether you want to save your sparks or not. I would say don't craft anything yet, though, with your spark. Because season will come out and there'll be a better thing to craft. The key to Arcantina. So there's been a lot of talk around this because they've made so many changes on this key. So it's this key that you get pretty easily if you're just doing quests. I got it before I even hit 90, just because I was questing in that area. And And they've made a bunch of changes. It was a way you could just get around to like dungeons and stuff. But now it is a 15-minute cooldown. So it now serves as like a Silver Moon Hearthstone, which means I need to change my Silver Moon Hearthstone, because that's where I set my Hearthstone on like day 1 when I first logged into my druid to start leveling in Midnight. And there's no point now. So this isn't like a good change, but you know, at least it still exists. They could just taken it away or something. I don't know, made some other alternative. But it used to be like a little under 2 minutes, like 1.5 minutes. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the bags. So as with every new expansion, there's new bags. And so we have the Sunfire Silka Backpack. So that's a 38 slot bag. The last good one was Duskweave, which was 36. Yeah, I always kind of bitch about the fact that it's only ever 2 additional, but 2 is better than 0, I guess. So yeah, there is that. That is a BOE backpack, so you know, you can buy them on the auction house or get a tailorer to make them for you. There's also the Arcana Weave Reagent Rucksack, so that is a BOE reagent bag, and that one's 40 slots. Which is a 2 up crease. Every expansion is like, I never have to look at these bags. The only thing I ever need to look is the name of them. Because it's been the same every expansion for years. It's always an extra 2. Yeah. Okay guys, so that is it. Bit of a long one this week. It is our first one back, and it is also pre-season of a new expansion, so it was bound to be a little bit on the longer side. Usually we keep them to like a 30-minute video, but once in a while they get a little longer. I hope you enjoyed though. I hope you guys are having fun in the Midnight expansion. As always, I always have like a little Myst's accomplishments section at the end here. So as for me, in Midnight, well, my druid's 90, and I'm decently geared, and I'm geared to the point where I can do everything in Midnight. Like, I can always get more gear, but I can at least get into everything, and I'm, you know, more or less raid ready. You know, I can always use more gear, but you know, I'm more or less ready. And yeah, I feel pretty good where my druid is sitting. I don't have plans to bring an alt in for a bit. I'm a one character person that has alts. You know, I have this alt army that I've had for like a really long time, but my druid is as progressed as she is throughout all the, you know, patches and expansions, because I focus her so much, right? So I probably won't bring an alt in for like a month or something. As you know, people that watch my streams, it's of course gonna be the lock. It always is. You know, I always, like, I have my druid. My Boomkin Druid is my Alliance main, and then my Affliction Warlock is my Horde main. So that's kind of how the first 2 characters always roll out. And then, yeah, so I feel pretty good. The expansion's been pretty good. I do plan on doing more of a overview, like my thoughts on the expansion. I'll work on that video this week. It's been a little hectic around here, hence why you're getting a WoW Weekly video in the evening of Monday. Usually you'd get it the morning. In my defense, it was literally just last night that I was like, shit, should I bring it back? I had to ponder it a bit because these videos are a bitch to edit. And ultimately, what I came up with was, okay, I've been, you know, life is hectic, you know. As you guys know, I've always been pretty busy between work and me doing YouTube videos all the time. I also run a few different channels. I stream pretty much every day. I edit a lot. And yeah, so I've been pretty busy. And then I increased it this year by adding a pretty strict fitness schedule to my days. So now on top of all that, I work out like 3 hours every day. And then last night when I was thinking about the WoW Weekly with Myst coming back, I'm like, okay, how would I do that? And then it dawned on me, maybe I finally start taking like a rest day, because I do make this fitness very strict. I don't take any days off, and maybe it's time that I do. Maybe I get like a rest day in there. You're supposed to, but like I've never done what I'm supposed to do, you know? Yeah. I just do my own thing, you know? And it always tends to work out for me, you know? I'm good at making decent decisions. But I thought it would be a kind of a win-win, you know? I make sure I take a rest day that, you know, in replace of me not working on my fitness that day, I would have time to do these videos. But the downfall is I would need to also take a day off of stream. So I thought it would be a great, I just came up with a new schedule more or less last night. So basically, stream-wise, we're still going, you know, we're still streaming, but Fridays and Sundays are kind of slower on stream. I've noticed this for a while, that, you know, people maybe just like doing things on weekends, you know. So I think those are 2 great days to take off. And the Sunday is also my rest day. It would give me time to do the WoW Weekly with Myst videos, because I always did them on Sundays, and these can be pretty intense some weeks. It depends on the news. But I imagine once season starts up, we'd be getting back to those long editing days for the news series. And I really enjoyed doing the news series. And I only put it on a break because I was kind of playing other games, you know, and I still play other games, but I'm really enjoying Midnight. And yeah. So that's been my kind of plan that I came up with last night. So stream-wise, we now take Friday and Sundays off. WoW Weekly with Myst news series is back, and it will post every Monday. Also, I put Delve Night back. So on Saturday night, I would through the War Within, basically since Delve started, I started up this thing called Saturday Night Delve Night, and it's done on stream, and it's just to help people get their weeklies done, get some stuff in their vaults, you know. And right now I'm just kind of helping people get up in tier until the season starts. And yeah, so that is every Saturday. So if you ever want to join for Delves, just check out the stream on Saturdays for that. And yeah, that's basically what I've been up to this past week. So yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. It's been a fun launch week. I've had a blast playing Midnight, and I'm glad, because Midnight, out of the trio, you know, War Within, Midnight, and Titans, Midnight was the one I was the most excited for. Just because there's so much that brings me back in Midnight. I have been playing this game since vanilla, but my favorite time was always BC, you know, as far as, you know, vanilla was great, and it does fall into like the favorite game. There are a lot of things I really do love with vanilla, but BC was like vanilla improved because of flight, you know. We were able to get up in the air. Controversial topic. Some people, you know, don't think it should have existed. Some people think it should. I am I'm kind of in between with that one. I really liked being on the ground, riding my mount, exploring things, but I also like being able to just get up in the air too. So I wouldn't want it gone, but maybe I don't know. The things I've liked with WoW are the things most people hated. You know, like Pathfinder. I liked Pathfinder. I thought, like, did it suck having to go back and like regain what you already had? Yeah. But it forced you to explore the world, right? It forced you to, you really got to see things. I find there's so much that you do miss now because you fly right away. Versus, like, I found a lot of secrets and stuff during leveling when Pathfinder was in the mix, because I'd be going around every nook and cranny, because I'm an explorer. But yeah, so but that's all I got to say. I don't want to make this video too terribly long. I hope you guys had a great launch week. For those that care, for those that care and want to check it out, in my stream my streams, for the past week, I have been kind of documenting my launch week, right? I'm probably gonna end it when the season comes out. So I'll probably do one more week of like documenting, until, when the raid comes out, I'll probably stop it. But it's there in case you're just curious, I'm a journal person. I have like 4 books in front of me right now. One is like a journal that I don't write in very often, but it's there for when I want to. It's very much a nice relief stress type thing. I do enjoy writing in it. And then I have like my fitness thing, and then my daily planner, and I have like a little financial planner book. And yeah, I am a writer, I am a documenter. Like, I like that kind of shit. So this was just a fun little thing, and I thought it'd be cool to add into the description. So you only see it in the descriptions of the streams, but it's there if you're interested, And yeah, and I'll keep that up until next reset. Not this one, but until the next reset, because by then I probably won't have much to document anymore. The only thing I haven't done yet is the price system, which I'll do tonight, and then I'll be like ready for raids. Like there's really not much left to document, so it might come to an end, within a few days, but it'll be there. So anyway, I am gonna go. I gotta edit this video, try to get it on the channel shortly for you guys, because I also have to schedule some streams in this week. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.